Few rivalries in modern geopolitics are as volatile as that between Israel and Iran. At the center of this tension lies Iran's nuclear program, a source of deep fear for Israel and intense debate worldwide. The possibility of nuclear weapons in such a fragile region raises urgent questions about security, power, and the risk of devastating conflict. Before I continue, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so more people can discover this content. Also, subscribe to receive more content like this. The conflict between Israel and Iran over nuclear development is one of the most significant geopolitical issues in the modern Middle East. Israel has consistently worked to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, citing concerns about national security, regional stability, and the intentions of Iran's leadership. Understanding Israel's position requires examining historical tensions, strategic concerns, and the broader implications of nuclear proliferation. Since the Iranian Revolution, relations between Israel and Iran have been deeply strained. Iran's government has often refused to recognize Israel as a legitimate state and has supported groups that oppose it. This long-standing hostility has led Israeli leaders to view Iran as a direct threat. Because of this adversarial relationship, Israel fears that a nuclear-armed Iran could pose an existential danger. Even if Iran never uses such weapons, the mere possibility creates a level of risk that Israel considers unacceptable. As a relatively small country, Israel places a high priority on preventing threats before they fully develop. A critical dimension of Israel's opposition to Iran's nuclear program is the scale and reach of Iran's proxy network, often referred to by Tehran as the axis of resistance. Iran has spent decades cultivating, funding, arming, and directing a range of non-state armed groups across the Middle East. These groups serve as force multipliers for Iranian influence and as direct threats to Israeli security. A nuclear umbrella over Iran would make these proxies far more dangerous and difficult to confront. Iran exerts much of its regional influence through a network of proxy groups across the Middle East. Among the most significant is Hezbollah in Lebanon. Widely regarded as Iran's most powerful and well-funded ally, Hezbollah was established in 1982, with direct support from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Over time, it has developed a large and sophisticated arsenal of rockets and missiles aimed at Israel, although the exact size of this stockpile remains uncertain. Hezbollah also operates as a major political party within Lebanon, giving Iran substantial influence over Lebanese domestic politics. In the Gaza Strip, Iran has supported Hamas, a Sunni Islamist group that has nonetheless received considerable Iranian funding, weapons, and technical expertise. This assistance has included support for local rocket production. Hamas's attacks on Israel, including the October 7, 2023 assault, demonstrate how Iran can project power indirectly through allied groups without deploying its own forces. Another key group operating in Gaza is Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Unlike Hamas, this organization is almost entirely dependent on Iranian funding and direction. It has carried out numerous rocket attacks against Israeli territory and is often viewed by Israel as a more direct extension of Iranian strategic objectives. Iran's influence also reaches the Arabian Peninsula through its support for the Houthis in Yemen. Since the mid-2010s, this relationship has grown significantly. The Houthis have launched ballistic missiles and drones toward Israeli territory, including attacks targeting Tel Aviv, and have disrupted international shipping in the Red Sea. Iran is believed to provide weapons, missile technology, intelligence, and training through covert supply networks. Beyond these groups, Iran backs a range of Shia militias across Iraq and Syria, including those collectively known as the Popular Mobilization Forces. These militias have carried out attacks on US forces in the region and have, at times, launched drones and rockets toward Israel, particularly during periods of heightened regional tension. The significance of this proxy network in the context of Iran's nuclear program is direct. If Iran were to acquire nuclear weapons, it would gain a nuclear shield that would deter conventional military retaliation and give its proxies far greater freedom of action. Israel would face a situation where any military response to Hezbollah rocket fire or Hamas attacks risks escalation with a nuclear-armed state. This is precisely the outcome Israel is most determined to prevent. Another major reason Israel opposes Iran's nuclear program is the potential shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. Nuclear weapons would significantly increase Iran's influence, making it more difficult for other countries to challenge its actions. Israel is also concerned that Iran could use this increased power to expand its support for allied groups across the region. Furthermore, if Iran successfully develops nuclear weapons, other countries may feel pressured to do the same. This could lead to a dangerous nuclear arms race in the Middle East, increasing the risk of conflict and instability. Iran has consistently stated that its nuclear program is intended for peaceful purposes, such as energy production and scientific research. However, Israel and several other countries remain skeptical. They worry that Iran may be developing the capability to quickly produce nuclear weapons if it chooses to do so. This lack of trust plays a crucial role in Israel's approach. Rather than waiting for definitive proof of weaponization, Israeli policymakers prefer to act early to prevent the possibility altogether. From their perspective, the consequences of being wrong are too severe to ignore. To counter Iran's nuclear ambitions, Israel has pursued a combination of strategies. These include diplomatic efforts, such as encouraging international sanctions, as well as more covert actions aimed at slowing Iran's progress. In some cases, Israel has also considered or threatened military strikes on nuclear facilities. The primary goal of these efforts is not always to completely eliminate Iran's nuclear program, but to delay its progress and reduce the risk of rapid weapon development. In summary, Israel's opposition to Iran's nuclear program is driven by a combination of security fears, regional strategy, and deep mistrust. The existence of Iran's extensive proxy network, from Hezbollah in Lebanon to the Houthis in Yemen, illustrates precisely why a nuclear-armed Iran represents something far more threatening than a single country acquiring a deterrent. It represents an entire regional network of armed groups, all of which could operate under the protection of a nuclear umbrella. Given the high stakes involved, Israel views preventing a nuclear-armed Iran as essential to its national survival and the stability of the wider Middle East. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more clear, no-nonsense explanations on global issues. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective and what topics you want covered next.